morning. So just thought I would jump on and see who's on today and talk about eating out and self-sabotage, limiting that belief that we have around how eating out is going to potentially mess up our results, and how to balance, our love of food and drink with eating out and having a good time, not being the boring one, as we often say. So, give me a hello if you're coming in. Let me know if you're watching. So, just wanted to run through firstly. So, yesterday, as I sat there, slightly more full up than I had planned to be after a barbecue, I noticed that in a few weeks' time, I just remembered that we were moving house, and I had booked in some one-to-ones, some catch-ups with some people on that day, in that morning in fact, and I was like, maybe that's a bad time to do it. So I just checked my phone, rearranged them, just sent some messages off, and I noticed that I had a message about eating out. I've lost 3 pounds this week. This was the question. I've got barbecue tonight. I don't want to be boring and not enjoy it, but I don't want to sabotage my results. So I just want to go through a few things to help with that, because I think firstly it's important to consider that the key thing here is that you're in control and that you're making a choice that makes you happy. Because remember that eating out, socialising, barbecues, all those things, especially now, are always going to be a part of your life, right? So you need to make them either fit into your lifestyle or enjoy them in a different kind of way. So for example, this might sound weird, but I love feeling quite full up. I actually quite enjoy that. I know some people who don't. I don't mind it, if I'm honest. I can eat. The meat sweats literally do apply to me. However, that doesn't mean I have no better time than if I actually just eat until I'm full up. And my first point here is, number one, is to focus on company, not just food. Because ultimately you're going there to socialise, right? And that doesn't mean we have to overeat, eat that, drink that, da-da-da. So number one is just to focus on company, not just food. Number two, know that whatever choice you make, you're not missing out. You're just aligning your actions with how you want to look and feel. Now, this might sound a bit weird, but if you're trying to achieve something that people there aren't, whether that's being fitter, stronger, weight loss, whatever, you have to consider that you're probably going to sometimes have to do things that maybe they don't do, or maybe you used to do, but now you don't do it anymore. So it could be that today, when I go to the barbecue, I'm going to have one plate. Then after my plate of food, instead of what I normally do is go, I'll now have a bit more, a sausage, burger, a bit of that. I'm just going to wait 20 minutes, chat to someone, sit down, have some water, whatever, have a drink. Then I'll decide if I want more. Whereas usually, I might not be that aware. Hi Nick, I might not be that aware. And I might just go straight up and have another plate. Like I did that yesterday, if I'm being perfectly honest. And as the saying goes, sometimes a teacher, always a student. It got the better of me yesterday when the halloumi came out after I'd made my choice. That was difficult, right? People love halloumi. So, especially on the barbecue. So that's number two, is know that essentially you're just aligning your actions with your goals, and you may have to do things differently, because as hard as it may be to be more aware, make that little rule, like I will wait 20 minutes before I go out for seconds, or I will have, I'll choose one meal from this barbecue. So at the end of the day, if you think about a barbecue, we have like sausages, maybe burgers, like corn on the cob, chicken, halloumi, coleslaw, salad. If it was a normal day and you said, oh Matt, what's for dinner tonight? And I went, we're going to have some burgers, going to have some sausages, some chicken, some wings, some prawns, some halloumi. Is that all right with you? You would go, how much are we having? But in a barbecue, it seems to be acceptable. So one thing you can do is, this leads on to my next point, is just to choose the social events where you're going to really enjoy, and then choose the ones that you're going to make a few compromises with. So it might be that some of them you just go, you know what? And this does depend on how many social events you have. For example, when we have our one-to-one at the start of the Kickstart program, sometimes people say, social events is going to really be a hard one. And then I say, okay, how many social events do you normally have? And they're like, well, one a week. And I'm thinking, well, one a week, that's one meal. You know, one meal out of, if you have 3 times 7, 21, you know, one meal out of 21 meals isn't really the end of the world. And think how much you could compensate in the other meals if you really wanted to just go there and enjoy it. And this then comes in to why we feel that would be, this can get a bit deeper now, why we feel that would be an issue. And this could be around kind of people pleasing, especially if you're in a family, if you've been brought up in a family where like food is love. You know, definitely Italian grandmas, you'll probably know, food is love. Like the more you eat, the more you show essentially that you care and you love them, and the more you're fed, the more they're showing you that they love you. So there's a lot of kind of emotional in that, and I get that, you know, when someone makes something for you, it's polite to eat it. And I think it's important to get the balance between doing what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, they don't want you to be unhappy. And if you're the type of person who really wants this, I'm working with someone at the moment who is really, really wants this. Like, they're a bit worried about their health, like a recent blood test, and they're like, right, I really have to change my habit. This is a wake-up call for me. Other things in their personal life have reminded them of that. And they're like, right, I need to do this. So if for that 1 minute where someone goes, come on, come on, just have it. But then for the next day, you're going, oh, I'm rubbish. What? I have no willpower, I have none of this. Is that worth that 1 minute of just going, you know what, I'm okay? Something to consider. Next point is, consider that actually a barbecue, and I bring this up a lot, is actually quite a healthy meal, providing you maybe fill your plate up in a certain order. So, for example, if I'm trying to make a few compromises at this barbecue, let's say I am being a bit wary of how much I eat, but still enjoying myself because, you know, food is lovely, I do love it, but at the same time I love eating well and feeling good. I love getting up with lots of energy. I don't like being hungover. I don't like being, just feeling slumped and not sleeping poor. So making choices here. But consider, okay, I'm going to fill my plate. I'm going to put the salad on first. So fill your plate with salad first. So a lot of your plate is now kind of full. So all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, it's nice to the eye. Okay, so we eat with our eyes. Then number 2, add the protein in. So yesterday, sausage and kebab is what I went for, and halloumi. That came out later. Damn it. So, caught in the act. Then I'll add on like any sides on from there. But the thing is, there's then not that much room for the coleslaw. There's then not that much room for the potato salad, which are things that surprisingly add a hell of a lot of calories to your meal. And where I've just filled it up, I'm like, you know what, I'm actually pretty full now. Now, granted, I didn't wait 20 minutes and I was lured in by the halloumi for seconds. But if you're, like I said, with the lady I'm working with at the moment, who's really important to them right now, you've got to remember my goals are perhaps a little bit different. You know, I'm not necessarily I don't want to lose weight at the moment. So if you consider, if you are though, it could be that, okay, today I want to go to the barbecue, really simple rule, I'm going to enjoy myself, but I'm just going to wait 20 minutes before I go up for seconds. That is literally it. 20 minutes before I go up for seconds, I'm going to make sure I have protein at the meal, serve my salad and protein first. Done. And you kind of give yourself that little bit of a, okay, I am in control here. It's not like sabotaging or anything like that. So I hope that makes sense with this. And I think it's important to consider that when we're having thoughts of, you know, I'll start when life is calmer. I'll start when things are a bit easier. You know, I love food and drink too much. Are these thoughts just really comforting because it allows us to put off what we need to do? Oh, I've got a social event next week. I've got a birthday next week. You know, there's always going to be things like this. And I bring this up all the time, but this kind of brings out that, and people talk about this little voice, you know, every time I try and lose weight, that the little voice comes out and, you know, just sabotages my results. And we think that we're the only ones who hear that, when actually, and we find this in our group, when I do Q&As, like some of the ladies just listen in on the Q&As, don't ask questions, and send me a message after going, wow, Matt, I feel so much better now. I thought I was the only one who had that little voice in my head going, oh, you're trying to lose weight? Oh, okay, just finish that. You know, oh, you're lazy, you can't do it. You failed before, so you'll fail again. You failed before, so you'll fail again. Consider that that's only true if you believe it. That's like saying to a kid, oh, you know what? You can't read. You're 4 years old. You're struggling to read. So you know what? You're never going to be able to read. You'll never get a job. You'll be rubbish for the rest of your life. It's literally like saying that. It has no correlation with the future unless you believe it to the extent where that impacts your actions right now. Because remember, where you are right now is the sum of your habits 3, 6, 9, 12 months ago, maybe 2 years ago. Where you want to be in 3, 6, 9, 12 months, 2 years from now is a direct sum of your habits of what you do today. And there's always a compromise. It might be hard now, making small changes, but is staying the same hard too? We often forget that there's a reason why we want to change, because we're finding something hard, whether that's getting out of breath climbing the stairs, whether that's being worried about our health, whether that's the clothes we want to fit into, whether that's being able to play and run around with the kids, with the grandkids, whatever it is, that's hard too. But we forget that in the moment when we're making small changes, because let's face it, the instant gratification of eating chocolate, biscuits, eating a bit more, having another drink is obviously going to excite a part of our brain in that moment, and it's very kind of, oh yeah, I want to get that now. So that's why we need to just be more aware, keep asking questions, remind yourself of the benefits every day. And this is something I bring up a lot inside our 28-day program, is to literally check in with the benefits, the top 3 to 5 benefits of actually making these changes every day. So say that's, you know, I'm able to play with my grandkids for longer, play with the kids for longer, just using examples that I get. Fit into this dress for a wedding, my daughter's wedding, whatever it is. All these things. Check in with them every day and make sure you keep redoing these benefits, because then they suddenly trigger a response in your head. So you get that logical side of your head switching on, going, actually, do I want this or do I not? But ultimately, going back to the ultimate question here, it's about making the choice that you want to make and making sure that you're making a choice that makes you happy rather than people pleasing. Because we often say things like, you know, I'm an individual, I'm myself, but then we go to social events and we do things just to please others. And we say we're different, we're different, but then we go to social events and we just do stuff to please other people. It's just a bit of food for thought on my Sunday morning walk before the kids are up, and it's go, 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 and the day goes away unless I plan this in and get it done. Otherwise the day runs me. So I hope that helps. And if you take one thing from it, that's good. Good morning, Marie. Hope you are all good. I'm going to carry on walking and speed up a little bit as this has become a dilly-dally as I talk. Cool. So take care. Hope that helps. Let me know one thing you took from it in the comments. If you took nothing from it, let me know if you have any questions or what you would want from it. Hope that helps. Take care and speak soon.